at the headquarters of Jiangnan Great Blizzard. A man looking through the glass door muttered, "I don't know. Here martial arts frontier team in Tianhai City. How to handle zombies. Haven't returned yet. This man is over 50 years old. He's wearing a green military uniform. Shoulders wearing the badge of the brilliant general. Hair cut neatly. Face as stern as a chisel. Eyes as sharp as a falcon. He is the main Chu, the highest commander of the Jiangnan Great Region. The military is confident, but not to the extent he despises his own life and that of his team. He pulled out his satellite phone. Start contacting the military's superiors. Jiangnan Great Zone. With his authority, he can contact directly with the highest commander of the Jiangnan Great Region, Chu Main. After a short time, the call is connected. Zhu himself asked what was wrong with him. The army presented the situation to Zhou. We need help. There are 100,000 zombies outside. They've completely surrounded our shelter. A problem of Tianhai City has become so serious that SAO. Listen to the report of the army. On Zhu's face, he was serious. Wait a minute. Chu thought to himself. Border Force Bu has been one of the most elite investigative teams. It's under my control if they all need to find support. Lookout zombies are about to threaten the Snow City. Even though SAO is just over 300 kilometers from the snow. When there's a zombie outbreak, in just a few days will affect the snowstorm. Originally, Zhu does not consider the zombie issue important. He sent only the best investigation team to solve the problem there. But did not expect that the border guards and his group are encircled there. They even need help from the general department. Need to know that. In the investigation team, each of you is the leading mutant in the blizzard. Zhu turned to the command room in the back. There's a big screen on the wall. He calmly said, "Display of surrounding satellite images. Haven Yang Suong." Just after a while, the screen has shown a satellite image of that area. The computer then analyzes the zombie situation. In the video, zombies gather like ants on the vast snowy field. Extends within VI about 10 kilometers. After the machine statistics give the specific figure. The number of zombies in the picture is 395,861, of which there are 395,521 humanoid zombies and 340 large-size zombies. Chu himself felt stunned. That's the number of zombies. It's like a big war. Use missiles to attack. It is also difficult to remove them all. Area and the total number of such large zombies. Chu's face is very serious. The situation is much more serious compared to his thoughts. He's on a satellite phone talking to the military. The number of zombies is too large. It's not a few hundred bullets. It can destroy them all. The military listened to Zhou. I immediately understood what he meant. For large military districts, ballistic weapons are also important strategic weapons. Now, it's very difficult to produce weapons. Every time you use a ballistic missile, you lose one. The main Zhou can't use large numbers of ballistics to destroy 100,000 zombies. With so many zombies, the most effective way to destroy them, it's still the use of nuclear weapons. Chu said in a low and cold voice. Chu continued. The Yangtze shelter is located at a depth of 172 meters underground. Very strong defensive ability. I plan they are going to directly use nuclear weapons there. This way you can destroy this zombie. Zhu himself decided strongly without hesitation. The military heard that the pupils were shrinking. But if we do that, the entire city of Tianhai will become a dead land. Chu said coldly, there are not many people living in the Mediterranean city. Don't sacrifice a small number of people now to prevent LAN zombies from spreading to other cities. It's the most effective measure. The military knows that Chu's words are not wrong. Currently, the number of people living in the city of Tianhai, maybe there's only a few thousand left. Using this method is definitely the smartest solution. But it also means they're going to be abandoned. Because nuclear weapons create the region, it cannot live for humans. Ballerina and his group, I can't leave the shelter to return to violence. And in the shelter, supplies could not be maintained beyond 25. After the radiation is gone, they all know that they will die in the dark. There's no sun. The military knows that. And now, we can't rely on the help of the community. Commander Chu, please give us some time. I want to try again. Zhu listened quietly for a while. And then I'll give you some time. 24 hours later. If you can't deal with the zombies, we're going to deploy nuclear weapons. Chu knows, if in 24 hours, border arms and local forces of Tianhai City, it doesn't solve the zombie problem. Give them more time. It doesn't make any sense. Even as the supreme commander of the Southern Tooth, he can't let his heart be weak. Because a few of my followers, but ignore the risk of spreading LAN to the entire male teeth, even the whole country. The military ended the call. His face showed nothing. Red wine and others. You can't predict the outcome. Ask a question with urgency. What does the neighborhood say? Missile aid when it can arrive. You put all your hope, with the help of the South China Sea. B looked at her. The department has just announced that there are too many zombies. So they decided to use nuclear weapons to destroy them. To hear the words of the armed forces, does everyone around you roll their eyes? Stay calm. She screamed. Nuclear weapons. It's also known as the ultimate weapon of destruction. It's a taboo weapon before the end of the world. Its power is extremely powerful. It's going to have 15 radioactive impacts, difficult to remove. If the city of Tianhai was attacked by, it's going to be a dead land. Although not directly attacked, humans will also die from the effects of radiation. They're hiding in a fortified underground shelter. Although not directly affected, but I can't go out either. Spend mighty anger, erect eyebrows. Ask out loud. Why is that? This is not for us to die underground. Military marbles face the indignation of red pepper training. Just calmly say, now outrage doesn't mean anything. We need to find a way to deal with the zombies outside. Otherwise, you can only live underground until supplies run out. He raised his wrist and looked at the clock. It's 23 to 58, and nuclear weapons will be deployed. Order Force Vu. I don't care about the emotions of the Red Cross. If anger is useful, he's more willing to be angry than anyone. The police also quickly became aware of the problem. Now is not the time to worry about right. It's about uniting to solve the zombie threat outside. Vu border troops say with the word red train. Now we need. You need to immediately hand over all information about the shelter to me, especially in terms of weapons and equipment. And then he turned to the barber. Make it clear to everyone. Make them understand that, if you don't give it your all this time, Everyone will have to face the ultimate disaster. Border guards adjusted their sunglasses. You need to let them know. If the AI dares to flee in battle, will be subject to relentless pursuit of Jiangnam Great Zone. I will listen to the orders of the military. You know that? Now, every part of the strategy is very important. Pink Pepper, practice deep breathing. Try to keep your mood steady. Now, in addition to trusting the military, you have no other way. You call the sand. Give him all the information. The cat also has an unpleasant face. He looked at the soldiers. Nod and go to the shelter. To hand over all the information to the armed forces without any opinion. On the outside. For Zhang Yat first. His mood is more complicated. The zombies are monsters they've created. But now, the situation has developed to this point. It's a little awkward. They can't solve this situation perfectly either. Through the blood of the king. To control the entire zombie horde, it's a complicated process, and can't convey too much complex information. Otherwise, the king's mind would not be able to understand. Let the zombies retreat like that. It's easy to draw suspicion from other forces. Expand translation who represent other great powers. They're all on their way to the Yangtze base. But they also move very carefully along the way. Afraid of encountering zombies. In the heart of each, it's all about complex thoughts. But the most basic principle is that no one wants to die. While Zhang Yat first was hesitating, he also received a message from the military. After reading his face, he was afraid. He muttered, "Nuclear weapons." What he feared most finally came. Jiangnam Great Zone, with superior weapon power, can actually easily equal all of them. Zhang jerking heart cannot suppress emotions. Strongly banged into the car. Damn, Zhang jerking heart thought silently. How do we do it? They can make the investigation team not die. Make the zombies go away. It won't make them suspicious. I don't know the snowman. After learning of the death threat of nuclear weapons. What will it be like? Zheng's eyes flashed with sharpness. As if wanting to kill. He's in a precarious situation. Meanwhile, Zhang Yi and his team are on their way. By snowmobile, far away. He also received strong news from the dance. At first, the movement was a bit surprising. But very quickly he laughed. I don't know the snowman. After learning of the death threat of nuclear weapons. How will it be done? He's not afraid of having a nuclear weapon. And even smile. Because of everything that's happened. Although there were some differences from his predictions. But overall, there's not too much deviation. The existence of nuclear weapons is speeding up the process. Snow White's people must have had a headache. They certainly have a way of affecting the rivers. And they didn't dare let the coroner die here. So they are sure. You have to ignore these 100,000 zombies. That's also the headache they're dealing with. Once this zombie class is also solved, at least for a short time, they also can't create large numbers of powerful zombies. Then he had a chance to deal with them. Raise your head to the sky and think. It's the power of nuclear weapons. It still makes people a little scared. In the vague, it's like seeing a dead god with a scythe. Falling down from the sky. Destroy everything. His combat suit, it's capable of preventing radiation. that can withstand low-intensity radiation. In a short time, he must prepare for the worst. Space heterosexuality not suitable for long-term survival. But avoiding it for a short time is no problem. It takes about a minute. Trong Yi tested this himself. If you really feel it, nuclear weapons falling from the sky. He can also take people temporarily. Hide inside. After avoiding it, we started to fight back. Although not sure how effective. But at least one method can be tried. The prerequisite is, they're not in the central part of the country. Attacked. Satellite phone service raw. Remind Zhu Kai, Ni and others. Hiding in the basement. Now, let's hurry to the third underground basement. The Mediterranean city could be attacked. He also gave this news to everyone in the car. After listening, everyone's expression became extremely tense. Even if they're mutants, in the face of that kind of hierarchical attack, they are no different than ordinary people. Know that you may lose your life. Salary approval gripped the car steering wheel. You didn't say a word. I'm thinking about whether there's a way to turn the situation around. From fat white face whispered finished. There really is no way this time. Old man, let's run away. 24 hours is enough for us to get out of the Sky City. Look at the satellite phone. With information on it. Calm down. Yes, one more thing. They say if we dare to run, we will be pursued relentlessly by the Jiangnan Great Region. You don't think zombies are a lot scarier than going south? From fat, immediately gray face like a dog. Obviously, both options could put him in danger. Zombies have at least half a chance of survival. But if you get Jiang Nam's attention, there's no chance. Even though SAO only needs Jiang Nam to, they can use powerful satellite systems and the internet to determine their location. From Fat looked so miserable that exclaimed, "Hey, this isn't about putting us in an awkward position." The View speaks. We have 24 hours to solve this problem. View with a serious face. 10,000 zombies sounds easy. But even 300,000 pigs, we can't kill them all in 24 hours. I know it's less than 24 hours. Tianhai City will face the blow of destruction. Most people feel very rushed. Propped his back in the chair, his eyes closed and he spoke slowly. Don't worry, this time it's a zombie. It's not that there's no solution. As long as we know that, those zombies are controlled by the snowman cult, everything becomes much simpler. They didn't expect us to reveal the location of the zombies. You must be having a headache right now. But the next problem is not ours. It's theirs. The plague did not panic. Next we need to see how the snowflake will deal with it. Even if they don't want to, when their goal is almost complete. Suddenly, a nuclear weapon destroys everything. In Zhang's eyes, there was a gloom of light. Everything evolves according to plan. Did not exceed my expectations. Then watch. Can we achieve the results we expect? At Yang Thongbin Base, military training with his group, gathered in the combat command room. Start planning to break the siege. More than 300,000 zombies, even though it's very difficult to destroy them. But it's not that there's no chance. For those who are alive, everyone is a top performer. Very quickly, a provisional plan was made. to destroy the zombies. The most important thing is remove their command center. That is, the king. Like this time with the zombie harassers. They actively attack. So the king is definitely behind the zombies. We need to break out. Locate the king and destroy it. Losing the commander. Zombies will not be as scary as before. In front of the army, it's a big electronic information board. The center is a haven of prosperity. We have a strong armed force here, including automatic machine guns. Use them to destroy a group of zombies and thousands of monsters. It's not a problem. Ask your child how to break the cycle. Zombies are too crowded. It's not enough just to rely on our weapons. Ballerina pushes her sunglasses up. The image of Zhang Yi appeared in his mind. We have to rely on him. The enemy hugged his arm. I can't believe the important time. We have to rely on him to save us. Zhang Yi's car has not arrived at the Yangtze base yet. Zhang Yi's satellite phone suddenly rang. It's called the Border Force. Brooding urchin. Others are curious to look. The translation knows everyone. They were curious about the situation at the base. So he turned on the speakerphone. Captain, is everything okay? Suddenly, they called me back. The cold voice of the armed forces, echoing from the phone. We're still alive. But there's not much time left. Listen to the translation. Don't rush to help. Let's go to the beach first. Use your power to collect 10 Cs. The police and others look at each other. Understand the intentions of the military. You want to take advantage of the ultra-low temperatures to bring seawater to the mainland to freeze. Zambia. Face tens of thousands of zombies. They don't have large-scale weapons to do effective damage. Like seawater in large quantities, it's a very powerful weapon. Most zombies get into the sea, will be slowed down by water. Actions become difficult. It's no longer even a threat to humans. More than the amount of seawater that's raised. 6 places will freeze in a short time. No doubt about it. It's an effective weapon to deal with them. The epidemic doesn't take time. We'll collect 10 water. Wait for me for 4 hours. He immediately requested. The driver is next to me turning the car towards the East Sea. Meanwhile, the Angel and his group has been requested by the Armed Forces Board, waiting far from the Yangtze base. They have to wait until everyone's ready. Attack a group of zombies together. This process, the most important, is the amount of seawater that the plague brings. 4 hours passed slowly. Every minute of every second for people in shelters, as well as a torment. The big powers are also worried. They're terrified of the emergence of nuclear weapons. Figure Heaven worried to call the border troops to inquire about the situation. How long until the SAO is so slow? Especially Zhang Yat first. He's feeling very insecure right now. He doesn't understand. At SAO, the investigation team discovered a group of zombies. They tried to hide it. And now he needs to make a decision. Or give up the zombie pack in exchange for the region's trust to the south. So maybe later. Slowly nourish the zombie group with blood behind it. Increase the force. Or accept that everything is broken. Destroy everyone in the Tianhai city, including the investigation team. He thought carefully. Not in a short period of time. Zombies basically have no way of breaking through the gear. More with Jiangnam Great Area turned around. It's a stupid decision. Obviously, The second option doesn't make sense. After a moment of thinking, Zheng Jingxian, heartbroken, choose to give up. To protect. So we've got to give up over 300,000 zombies around the base. Yang Huang. Even if it hurts, it's their only way. Zheng Yat first stood far away, a cold stare at the dense group of zombies. Thinking silently. Must be very real. Don't let them spot the zombies. Controlled by us. The cold wind blew over him in his shirt. He took a deep breath of cold that made his throat ache. There's nothing we can do now. The military and his group are not useless. It's not easy to die. We just can't give orders to the zombies. Let them instinctively attack people. In the East Sea, after more than 4 hours of work, the last chapter collected a lot of seawater. From the coast and from space. He contacted the border force with this news. We've prepared the seawater. But you need to find a high place to pour water. Efficiency should not be expected too high. We can only make sure that it will affect the movement of the zombie group. It makes them slower. However, all around the Yangtze base is flat land. It's not possible to cover them completely. That's enough for the military. If only it would help us spend a little more time. Borrowing is good. Only when breaking the fin, they had a chance to find and destroy the king. A wise man and leader of a group of zombies. After killing the king, the threat level of the zombie group will be significantly reduced. More according to their search. It can be concluded that this is the last group of zombies in Tianhai City. No need to worry about being controlled silently. At least after this battle, Tianhai City will no longer be harassed by zombies. In a short time, the soldiers looked with cold eyes. He was determined that after overcoming the zombie threat, this time we have to find out and arrest the man. After all these conspiracies, who took control of such a giant group of zombies, or will become part of the Jiangnan region, or will be dealt with. After the end of the conversation, Trong Yi asks for driver's salary to a high position near the Yangtze base. Salary approval, very fast response. She turned the car towards the base. From a distance, they can see a giant group of zombies that way. A few kilometers. A big black block. Just to see, that made people feel scared. From deep inside. Fortunately, they're far enough away to be safe. And the zombie group's attention are being attracted to the Yangtze base. Otherwise, the pursuit of the zombie group at this time will cause great trouble to Zhang and his team. When I saw this scene, I was afraid to piss my pants. Fortunately, the Kier zombies only pay attention to the flourishing base. If not, we're done. After a while, the car stopped, in front of a terrain higher than a flourishing base, to ease the sea down a little bit. Zhang's group got out of the car. The word fat is still muttering. So many zombies just need to use seawater. He doesn't believe this could solve the Kier zombie hordes. But inside the shelter of the Yangtze base, the military has calculated. He's in contact with the gods and others. Tell them they're ready for battle. As soon as Zhang Yi started pouring down the sea, the people in the shelter will start to counterattack and try to break it. At that point, they need to create chaos outside and support the investigation team and a key battle group from the Yangtze base. The other great powers are ready in nearby locations. You just need an order from the military. They're going to start harassing the zombies from the outside. Despite the number of people left over from the great powers, not much, but the AI is also a seasoned fighter. Experience. Most of them are captain-level mutants. Out. There's also the best fighting staff. Zhang's car moved to a location on the cliff, 4 kilometers from Yangtze base. From this altitude, looking down at a group of zombies. Open up 2 large space doors. Immediately, 2 strong water spray out, pouring down the bottom. This sea water is taken from the very depths of the ocean. It has a very high salt content. However, when exposed to minus 60 degrees of air, sea water quickly freezes. The sea is flowing down from above, immediately turned into 2 glaciers, with lots of white ice crystals, and in the strong water, flows towards the flat ground around the Yangtze base. Swingers speak with the word fat. Try not to know right away. 3 leaders of the remaining bases. I saw the water pouring out. From space, heterogeneity. Silently stand and watch. In my heart, I admire and fear. Go back and ask your team. Are you ready? Uncle Vu rustled along from Fat, simultaneously nodding. Ready to go. Water from Zhang Yi's to space doors, constantly being poured out. The falling sound of the sea attract the attention of the zombie group. But when they turn around, immediately covered by the strong current of the sea, group of zombies turned around towards the translation chapter on the cliff and let out a scream. They're not really in command right now. It's just instinctively attacking the living. When he saw Zhang Yi and his group, immediately there are a lot of zombies rushing towards them. But this blind attack can't threaten the movement and his team. The translation also recognizes the action of zombies. It's not like they used to have commanders. They don't even dodge the strong ocean currents. This proves that they can't pose any threat. Very quickly, large numbers of zombies are washed away by the sea. This also causes chaos in the line of 5 zombies. It's like pushing down dominoes. The zombies from behind start to mess up. I can't help but smile and think. Just as I predicted, ha ha ha. I know you don't. And Zhang Jingxian did not dare to risk death. Lazy tearing. Then, so let your cards end here. Sea water quickly covered the large number of zombies. Thousands of zombies fall into the sea, and still trying to shake towards the offensive chapter. But they can't move before the rising sea. Armed forces via satellite saw the scene and immediately ordered, start attacking. At the sunflower shelter, the ground began to shake. Water marks appear on the ground. And then there's the gradual appearance of 10 cannons. Has a large diameter. The cannons automatically start to fire out the flames towards the densest group of zombies. Shoot away. Gunfire explodes between groups of zombies. Immediately eliminate more than 100 zombies. Figure silhouette. Hai and Trin Tin Tian with the others. They also responded to the call of the military. Attack groups of zombies from 3 different directions. Mode of attack, mainly using heterosexual and explosive. Conventional guns don't work with this group of zombies. In this situation, Wei Daihai's ability to promote great efficiency. His ability is the Ice and Snow Lord, a strong combination of attack and defense. He knows best how to fight at sea. In an environment with ice and seawater, his power is growing stronger. Sea water released by Zhang Yi in the field of snow has turned into a violent glacier. Create a physical combat environment for him. False C. Control glacier. Turn it into your weapon. Attack a group of zombies and powerful armor from within. If considered according to the mutant standard, this powerful group of zombies is also kind of a powerhouse. They have defensive power and speed. But before this kind of attack, it is also difficult to sustain them. Glaciers and sea water wash away groups of zombies. They're quickly frozen in the water and can't stand on the ground. The 5 cooperative forces coordinated attack group zombies do not have time to react. In a few short minutes, nearly a third of the zombies were killed. But people also understand that the current situation is difficult to maintain. Because a glacier attack is just mess up the zombie group. You can't directly destroy them. There's a huge difference in numbers. If it lasts too long, when the sea is running out, zombie groups can adjust and counterattack them. Speak to the military. We can't stay out too long. You need to get out quickly. The military understands this, he said. I understand. The military knows that this advantage is temporary. They're well prepared for loan defaults. There are more than 1,000 people in shelters, mostly former oil refinery workers, and their families. It's like this break can't take them with us. We can just let them stay. If the military and his team win, these people can survive. If they lose, they'll have to live underground for the rest of their lives. Even though this is better, get out immediately and get eaten by a group of zombies. The armed forces ordered. Prepare to break the siege. Use all your firepower. Red Pepper grinding teeth. Go ahead and say, we only have one chance to take advantage of it. Let's do it to the end. You go to the control panel. Open a hidden dark hole. Find a secret button. Very decidedly, Pepper rosin vigorously banged down it. The military cannot hide its astonishment before the big play of Red Pepper. He thinks too much. You're going to take out all the advanced weapons. But he didn't expect it. This woman is so determined. A moment later, on the Yangshi shelter, the giant flames from the refinery exploded raw. Shock light. Bright light illuminated the sky. The red glare hurts people's eyes. The loud explosion made Zhang Yi feel like she was deaf. From the ground a mushroom cloud slowly rises. Middle stitching whole ground shaking. Even if it's a few kilometers away. It's like a 9-magnitude earthquake. That made Zhang Yi and his group unable to stand. Widen the eyes. I can't believe it. Into what's happening in front of you. Oh my God, Red Pepper. She blew up the oil refinery. Under the known oil refinery contains millions of barrels of crude oil, power foundation of Red Pepper in Tianhai City. But now she's triggered the explosion. The terrible hot wind blowing around. At least 7,000 to 80,000 zombies has been burned to ash by the high temperatures, thousands of degrees. Fortunately, Translation and its team, everyone wears heat-resistant clothing when fighting. Otherwise, he felt that he would surely be severely burned.